Well, I grew up in a small town called Randolph, Massachusetts, which is about 15 miles south of Boston. Probably October of 1970, I was 10 years old, and it was a Friday. And on Fridays, I would usually go with my mother shopping. And I remember going to the First National supermarket with her in town. And as we were leaving, we passed a newspaper stand or a newsstand. And there were all these magazines, and one magazine caught my eye in particular. It was had a bunch of little cartoons on the cover with the photos of the teen stars of the day. And the teen stars of the day were David Cassidy, Bobby Sherman, and Donny Osmond. And at this point, I had a slight awareness of my sexuality, and I knew that I wanted to know more about these pretty boys. And it's like, "Ma, can I buy that?" Or, "Can you buy that for me?" And it was 35 cents, this copy of 16 magazine, which was a teen fan magazine at the time. And it was the December of 1970 issue, which came out in October. And she didn't say anything. She did put down the 35 cents, and I got to take it home. And then somehow I got this idea, well, I want to make a magazine like this. I want to sort of mimic it, but at the same time, I had to maintain the charade that I was better than this magazine. So I ended up doing these magazines that were parodies of the teen magazines. I would cut out photos of teen stars and put them in these magazines that I'd make. I started to write them, and then I thought, oh, I bet other people would like these. So I actually started to sell them on the playground at school. The girls loved them. It was fun, it was naughty, and I just, I addressed issues like teen pregnancy and drugs, anything to get a rise out of people, and anything so that I could continue to read these magazines. You could be guaranteed of at least one photo of a shirtless boy in these magazines. I was making these magazines for about 3 or 4 girls on the playground, in elementary school. And in fact, one girl bought an entire subscription of 12 issues. This went on from 5th grade through 6th grade, and then junior high, 7th grade. I made the last one probably in the fall of my junior high, my 7th grade. And if I think back as to why I stopped making the magazines, it may be because I started to have sex with another boy, another peer at that time. So maybe I finally fulfilled what I was always looking for, so there was no need to create the magazines anymore. But I also knew that it was not cool, because by then the word fag was being thrown around in school. The thing about these magazines, it shows how ingenious or how desperate or how creative somebody can be when they want to get in touch with their sexuality, but they know that society around them doesn't allow that. Anybody of any age can be aware of their sexual orientation and want to get in touch with it, and that we should not dismiss the notion that somebody who is even 5 or 6, a little boy who's 5 or 6, suddenly declares, "I like other boys." Perhaps parents are more likely to say, "Oh, you're so young, you don't really know yet." Well, I knew, and I would think that everyone else who declares that knows. And I think it's just a reminder that something as basic and essential as sexuality and sexual orientation really does come to you very early.